Well guys, we're back. 3 weeks it's been. Back at Fenland Fisheries just for a 24-hour session or just over that. And I slotted into this little corner peg here. Things are looking good. Got here about 7:30 this morning now. Just flicked the 2 rods out. Got the light rods with me, no snags or weed in here. Still laying on the floor at the moment. Get the alarms out shortly and get them going. Got a couple of hours of bite time left. Both rods went on. Well, I've seen a little bit of carpy action over the last 10 minutes. Seen a bit of bubbling up, coming up there. Real nice little corner peg. This is the peg I was hoping to get in. I'm with a mate. He's just there, looking at his rods. We both got the trap set. Just doing a little nighter, overnighter for 24 hours. Just trying to pinch a bite and get lucky, really. Seen a fish crash to the left, right there, right close to them reeds, right below my finger. That looked a good fish, to be fair, so I will pull one left when the time's right, but right now I've got some fizzing up going over both rods. It's bright and early. What are we in? September the 20-ish? So I don't know, we're sort of like end of summer / autumn, whatever you call it. But it can be tricky this time of year. It's going to be scorching hot today, 26 degrees. Nights are getting a bit nippier. Pressure's high, but it's due to drop in the morning. So things are looking up. The light rods are set. I better get them alarms set before one of my rods gets dragged in, hopefully. Right, so we'll have a bit of catch up when I'm sorted out, and I'll get all this mess sorted. So till then, catch you in a bit. Well guys, it's been about 40 minutes since I got the trap set. Got some lovely goodness in here. About a quarter of a 10-litre bucket. All the usual suspects in there. Got a little bit of maize in there this time. Mainly boilie, I'd say, probably 70% boilie. Got a little bit of hemp in there. Weaning off the particle now as we're heading into autumn. But a lot of boilie in there. I know they are boilie eating monsters in there. And they love a good bit of chow. So I'm going to add a bit of pellet to the mix. So I'm just going to pour that in for now. Plenty of liquid. Not too much. There we are, there's that mix in there. Guys might have to bear with me this trip because my camera's playing up hardcore. Well, I dropped it a few weeks back. Can go a few pellet. Nice mix of pellets, that different sizes, different flavours. All breaking down at different times. A lot of micro pellet in there. And this is the beta margin spot up to the reed line there. See if we can get a better look on that. See if we can get a better look in the sun. Let's have a look. We can see, can't we? There we go. Anyway, you get the gist of things. We've got a nice sloppy mix. Pellets in. I'll let it soak that goodness up for about 5 minutes. Have a little lead around. Make sure I can find a nice little clean spot with no branches on. And we're going to get a bit of goodness out there. Them babies are on the alarms now. Let's see if my camera wants to focus. Probably not. Gonna have to get a new lens, but so they're still fishing. Still a little bit of carpy action out there, but with today's temperature soaring to 26, I can't imagine them being in the feeder mood out in the middle for much longer. Although saying that, I've seen 2 big plumes of bubbles coming up not far from the rig. So I won't touch these rods for about another 40 minutes, maybe an hour. I see bite time right out there. But if you look here, got a nice reedy margin. Look at this wind pushing through here, look. Lovely warm wind coming through. You might hear it distorting in the camera. But yeah, with this pressure crashing this evening as well, it's all looking good. Look at that reedy margin. And off that tree there, I'm going to go past that tree. I know there's a little spot out there. If I go past it and just wean it back on a tight line, I should drop onto a nice little, I don't know, like a hard clayey spot. And the lake's down, in fact, it's about 18 inches down, so that'll put that spot probably at 3 foot, which is perfect for a good daytime area. Right, no more waffling, time to get the bait out, get the trap set, and we'll catch up soon. guys, nothing's happening now. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Bite time's well and truly dried up, but I've just moved the left hand rod into the margin that you see me baiting up earlier, and I've just pulled the right hand rod out from the middle. It's about 7 foot out there, and I sort of feel like it just ain't going to happen really. It's too hot. It's a late autumn day. These hot days and cold nights don't do the fishing no good, you know. So I'm going for a zig now. Just made up a 5 foot zig. Got just a little anti-tangle sleeve there. And I've got a new presentation that I favour in my zigs here. This is a real neat little trick. I hope you can see that, because I can't see because the glare, because of the sun. It's a little red and black zig, but look at the aggression on that hook there, sitting like that. So basically, I hope you can see it. I get a little bit of black foam and I whittle it down into a little circle. I thread it onto the hook, onto the shank of the hook, and I just simply cut one side so that's flat, like a little beetle. So the flat side's facing inwards, gives you plenty of hooking potential, so it don't really like close the gape of the hook up or nothing. And I leave the round out a bit on the outside of the hook, as big as I can leave it, and then a simple, not to big up cord or nothing, but these little kickers are pretty handy. Move that down. I use their little kickers. I like either red or white, but you can use black also, all 3 colours, and it just makes it look like a little hatching bug. If you look at that, how that's sitting like a claw. Again, I can't see because the shine of the sun on the camera, so I hope you guys are getting that back at home. Mega edge. Done me a couple of fish this year, so I'm going to pop that out there at 5 foot. That puts me 2 foot below the surface. I haven't seen no carp in the upper layers, so they're definitely not right on the surface, but I'm hoping there'll be 1 or 2 million about this afternoon, so I'm going to get this one prepped and ready out there in advance. So hopefully we'll get a carp, or get some sort of action at least, but I'm not holding hopes out really until this evening. It'll be tonight, so if we get a fish between me or Ray today, it's an absolute bonus, to be honest, but if not, we'll catch up soon. Well, finally my old boy's in. Only a little one, he says, but it's a bite, mate, it's a bite. Do you need a hand or anything, bud? Are you alright?
That's exactly what I wanted.
Nice one, mate. Pucker.
Right in that shadow where I just cast it about 10 minutes ago.
He just dropped that in there and all. Can't believe it. So 2 guys were to the right of him, just in them 2 pegs up there. And look, you can see how beautiful it looks here today. And they've gone home. Must have been, what, 20 minutes ago. I've looked over. He's re-rigging the rod. Just plopped it in. How close was that from the bank, that one?
6 foot.
6 foot from the bank. Closer than any of us are fishing. And bang, away it goes on a beautiful hot summer's day like this. Buzzing. Let's get her out and see what she looks like, mate. And there you go. Beautiful little ghosty. 16 pounds, went on the scales. We weighed it just out of curiosity. See his head if I get out in the sun. Real ghosty on his head. And lovely. Great start to this trip, mate, eh?
Show the other side.
Yeah, let's have a quick butch, mate.
Just shows you on these day ticket waters about ringing in the changes, doesn't it?
Mate, you done well, mate. First one on the bank, boy. I didn't think they'd be mooching that close into the margins.
Well, like I said, I see the shadow of that tree and I thought that's got to be a prime spot now.
Mate, that's paid off already, innit? What, we're mid-afternoon and boom. The sunlight might not do it much justice, but there we go. Nice 16 pounder. You're off the mark, boy. Hopefully I won't be far behind. Alright,
Lovely job.
let's get her back. Well, look, wouldn't be right if you went with your pal having a takeaway, look. Ray's got a nice Ruby Murray, and I've got that. I must say, looks a bit epic, to be fair. Time to chow down. Traps are set and looking good. In fact, I lost one earlier, bit gutted about that. Hook pulled me in the reeds. Gutted, felt a decent fish as well. So, oh, and I just had an enormous snotty at probably about £10. So other than that, life is good. Time to chow down, and we'll catch up soon. Well, excuse me if I got pizza around my mouth. Just sitting there enjoying the pizza, as you guys seen back at home, and the right hand rod tore off. In fact, it pulled tight, and you know it's a sign of a fish knowing it's been collared. And we've got a lovely little ghosty looking common again, similar to looking to what Ray had earlier. A little bit bigger, this one a couple of ounces under 20. Put up an epic scrap on the light rods. Buzzing to get one before dark and get a nice bit of footage of it. Just had it in the net for about 5 minutes just while I finished my last slice of pizza. There we go, look at that. Lovely mint looking common. Again, sorry if the picture's a bit blurry. I'll have to get a new lens next week. This one's seriously playing up. Look at that. Cracking Fenland Fisheries common. Proper made up, over the moon with this one. Lovely proportioned. Decent mouth. Makes up for that one I lost earlier, eh? Lovely job. Right, the night's falling. I've got 2 rods to reset. Let's get this baby back and we'll have a catch up in the evening and when it gets dark, hopefully. See you in a bit. Well everyone, we've lost Ray. He's packed up, he's had to get away early now, it's 8:30. He's on his way back to Cambridge. And we had a good night's fishing, great time, good social, good times all round. We managed 7 takes in the end between us, lost 2, landed 5. I had a mirror similar size to the common I had yesterday. That was in the night, it just kicked off as soon as it got dark pretty much. Ray's biggest was just under 22 and he had a couple of small ones too. So yeah, real nice trip, nice little 24-hour. Well, I'll be stopping a little bit longer than 24. Beans it's a Sunday, why not, eh? So it's meant to be clouding over, the pressure's pretty low today. It's meant to be a bit of rain this afternoon, well quite a bit of rain. So things are looking good. Had a real good time, really enjoyed coming with my pals and that, you know, it breaks it up a bit, doesn't it? So yeah, happy days, 5 takes. I'm going to kick back with a cup of tea now, finally get back in bed. I've been up with Ray all morning, scoping the place out. No carpy action this morning though. So hold tight, because I'm sure something will happen soon. Right guys, we're on the last morning now, it's 11:45 and I just had a blittering take on the left hand rod margin and you never guess what, even I'm surprised, okay? I know I get a lot of big fish, but I've actually got the biggest fish in the lake. The one, it is 39 hovering in between 39.5 and 39.75, so just under £40. It was last out at 38.12, so it was put on nearly £1, and it's an absolute tank. Oh god, the biggest fish in the lake, unbelievable. There's only 530s in here, and this is by far the biggest fish in the whole lake. And here it is, look at that. The biggest fish in the lake on a 24-hour session. Properly made up, you know, timing's everything, you've got to pick your moments. I'm absolutely buzzing. I fell asleep, had a little nap after Ray left. We've been up all night catching lots of carp. It was either his buzzers or my buzzers going. Fell asleep, woke up, actually watched this take off. Proper made up. The big gal, as they call her. I think she's called the big gal anyway. The biggest carp in Vermuyden Lake at Fenland Fisheries. Banked. Loving life, on camera as well, guys, eh? Quality. Oh, let's flip around, have a quick butch at the other side. Just because I only pictured this side, because I do it with a remote. And if any of you guys want to question how big this fish is, I had 4 people here when I weighed it. So a few young lads, an older guy, and then a nice guy. They all did the night dead opposite me, and they just moved to the little lake next door. And even they were blown away. Just hovering around under the £40 mark. Unbelievable. I can't wait to tell Mike, the owner, that this fish will be £40 next year. They've certainly been getting the bait. I've certainly let them have it. Fell on the margin rod to the left, and I rebaited this morning just with 20 enzyme dumbbells. I'll show you how I've been fishing that rod, what I've been fishing it on. But absolutely made up. Real thick, deep fish this one. Absolute corker. Buzzing, I'd have been buzzing, there's only 530s in here like I said, I'd have been buzzing with any of them, but to get the big one at almost £40, properly made up. Right, let's get it back and we'll run you through them dumbbells and the baiting approach shortly. Well guys, still looking good for a bite, you know. Pressure's still fairly low considering the temperatures. Still been the odd carp mooching about as well. Anyone would think, gee, you've had a 39 pounder. You're not ready to go home yet? No, I'm not. Let's get another one. Let's get another 30. Let's get a nice brace. We're not even fully in big girl season yet. And just nearly banked a 40 pounder. So having proper lunch in style this session. Had a bit of leftover pizza from last night for breakfast. Got some egg, beans and some like gammon ham, which the missus cooked at home, like honey roast ham, that's the one. Yeah, roasted in honey and all that business. Bit of country life butter for the frying. Lovely job. No bread. Give the old bread a miss. Watch these old fat levels, eh? Keep the carbs low, guys. So yeah, obviously I'm on cloud 9. I thought I'd give you a little update. Means I'm just kicking back now, just watching the rods, watching the water. See, it's nice and... Oh, I've got one fish on. No, liner. Sorry, I just paused there for a second. There's a liner. But yeah, so absolutely loving life. Look at that, 3 eggs. Pop them babies out now. Bit of gammon, egg and beans. Having it large on the bank, innit? Right, we'll catch up in a bit and we'll run you through a few bits of bait and what I applied to catch that stunning 40 pound carp nearly. See you soon. Well guys, the rain's eased off and we're pushing into dinner time now, probably about what, 4:45ish. So probably stick it out for another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. fish are going bonkers out there, they're fizzing up, pressure's crashed, everything's looking cock on for a bite. So here's the goodness that's been doing me the trick, making that enormous fish, just a few ounces under 40 this session, and not a lot left. It's been used. This was a 3.5 kilo bag that I'd done myself up. So basically, I might have showed it before in a previous clip, but yeah, I'm not sure, so I'll show it again. So in here, I've got some enzyme dumbbells, and basically what I did with them, I soaked them, because I've got a big pond at home. I soaked them in pond water for about 3 hours or so. See if you can pick that up. It smells delicious. Well, deliciously carpy anyway. So I soaked them from pond water, got them nice and soft, got them taking some goodness in, and then I drained the water off the bucket, and I just had enzyme dumbbells. I then put them in this bag here. These are freezer baits, these ones. I then put them in this bag here, and I glugged them, or heavily glazed them. I allowed, what, probably another 10-15 hours, kept rubbing the baits up, letting them suck all that glaze in, and then I stuck them in the freezer, and it's as simple as that. They're a bit hard to get as soon as you get out of the freezer, but give them 10 minutes and you can take a chunk off. And this is the end of the bag now. I finally got through it, so I think this is my second bag in the last few weeks. So I've been getting through them, and a fish has just rolled over a spot where I've put about 15 or 20 of these. I just reeled the right hand rod in and put it in, well, probably 6 rod lengths out, and it was 11, and there's a lot of fish there, hence why I've just reeled it in and quickly fuzzed it out. Didn't clip it up or nothing, just put it where I've seen a load of fizz. Probably close to 10 shows now. So yeah, enzyme dumbbells done me the trick, and I've also been putting a little bit of spod mix out on the other spots, the longer spots. This was on the margin spot, so it allows me to go around there, cast out. I put a bit of foam on or whatnot, or a little pop-up on, so I can see exactly where I've come up, and I just scatter like 10 or 15 dumbbells around it. And that's what's done me the big gelt, and I actually lost one on that rod yesterday. And here's a bit of the mix I got left. Well, I bought some spare. In here, just enzyme crumb and chops. You can't beat it. Release that pungent smell, and there, you got the goodness, didn't you? Another fish just showed. Probably hear him on camera. They're going bonkers now. This pressure's crashed. Yeah, got some enzyme chops and crumb in there, and in here, this needs no introduction either. I've caught probably over 30 30s, UK 30s on it, God knows, handful of 40s, 50, and then here's the Synchronize, which is a krill and crayfish bait. And if you guys ain't tried these baits yet, and you fancy trying something new, don't be afraid to give something new a go. Don't be afraid to be different. If everyone's putting in a certain bait on a lake, be different and try something else. If you don't get on with it, go back to what you was originally using. But you never know, there's a bait out there for everyone, and for me, I know when I see a bait whether I want to use it or not. I know a good bait the second I smell it, whether I'm going to enjoy using it or not. And this krill and crayfish, to Synchronize, it's just so krilly, it's unreal, and it's got crunchy bits of crayfish in it and some other absolutely sexy, attractive ingredients in there, because I know what they are. We're not going to get into that now though, are we? And then you come to the enzyme, and well, it just stands alone, doesn't it? What, probably over 100 UK 30s in the last few years. God knows what, probably close to 20 40s now. And but you guys will carry on cracking on and doing what you do on your normal bait companies, wouldn't you? Like Mainline and that lot. Just try something new. If you're not catching, have a pop at something else. Don't have to be this bait. Just try some of the underground small businesses, because they're the ones who need help getting off the floor, and they're the ones that are putting the time and money into perfect baits. And especially like us, we don't care about the money so much, we want good bait, and if I'm going to use it, it's got to be top quality. So we've been using the enzyme and the Synchronize this session, and we've had 8 runs between us, and I got done a little bit earlier actually, managed to get away with the rig, and we lost a couple, But yeah, so that's been my baiting approach. In the spod mix also, when the crumbed up and the chops, there's a little piece of corn. I'm not sure if I showed it on camera. A bit of corn, tiny bit of hemp, a little bit of pellet. Kept simple, and the fish are really showing out behind. But yeah, the motto of this story is don't be afraid to be different to the guy next door. If you're starting a new campaign, these baits are where you want to be. The Ensign, if you're doing a campaign on the syndicate, is a place to be. Someone just texted our forum the other day, our Facebook page, that Stoneacre, if anyone knows about Stoneacre Lake, it's a tricky lake, real tricky in fact. You guys might have seen various other guys like Scott Lloyd and that fishing it. Or someone used the Ensign over there, and they've had 540s out there on it. So I don't know how true that is. It's only written our reviews, but we should wait and see. We'll dig in and see where that comment come from. I'm sure it won't have come from nowhere. So no stories come without fire, do they? Right, so here we go. It's been a short session. I've dragged it out to maybe 30 hours, 32 hours maybe. I've enjoyed every second of it. The pressure's crashing. The only reason why I'm here is because the weather's crashed. I won't be back out till next Friday. Looking forward to that. Somewhere new next Friday, unseen on the channel, and I've been waiting to get there for a few years, and it's got an epic looking ghost carp around the 40-pound mark. So other than that, I will say goodbye when it's time to say goodbye, but for now, I'll see you soon. Well guys, that's it for this session. Nothing else happened in the end. It's time to get my arse on the road and get back. I've stayed an hour later than I should. I better not stop any longer, I'll get in trouble with the missus. The kids have already been on the phone, Dad, where are you? But I'm on cloud 9 with that big 39-pounder buzzing. The fish were going bonkers in the end. They must have been on a hatch or something. You can still see them servicing there. There is a lot of fizzing going on. Perhaps they're fizzing up on bloodworm. They didn't want to know anything I was trying to do in a way. But we came, we conquered. We had 4 bites, 3 fish. Buzzing, 30-hour session. Can't go wrong with that, can ya? Don't know when I'll be back here now. Probably not till deep winter. So look, we're all packed up there on the barrel, ready to go, aren't we? Get on the road. So until next week, take care. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and follow along. Don't miss next week's episode. I've been looking forward to this for a while. So yeah. Well, for me, it's time to say goodbye to Fenland Fisheries for a good month or 2, I should imagine. And as for you guys, for those of you that tune back in, I'll see you next week. See you soon.